Well, hi there. I'm Charles White, but in EVE Online, the spaceship game on the internet for over the last 20 years, I'm known as Max Singularity, and the players called me the Space Boat. And then this happened. Once I dressed up, there was no turning back from it. But you know, it's been fun. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being the Space Boat. People write me and send me their blessings. And so I would like to share a blessing with you. And I'm going to call this our holiday blessings. And I have 3 letters from 3 EVE Online players that are going to tell their holiday story. So let's get started. First off, my holiday address. And I need to read it from a script because it took me a bit to write this and I want to get it exact. So forgive me for reading from the script, but I'm not a professional. So here we go. So greetings, valiant pilots and celestial wanderers. As the festive lights twinkle across the cosmos, I, your Space Pope, am here to share a message of joy and unity wrapped in an ethereal glow of our beloved universe. As we journey through the vast expanse, our ships dancing among the stars, let us remember the thrill of our encounters. Each laser fired in the spirit of competition is not just a tool of battle, but it's a beacon of our shared passion, a symbol of our collective journey through the stars. In the endless night of space, our lasers shine like festive lights, reminders of the joy we find in our cosmic playground. Let us embrace each battle, not just as a contest of skills and strategy, but as a celebration of our community, our shared dreams, and the bonds forged in the heart of distant nebulas. As we traverse this grand tapestry of galaxies, let us pause and marvel at the wonder of our existence. Each of us is a unique spark of consciousness, floating in the vastness of space. That's a miracle. Together, we create a symphony of life, a harmonious blend of hopes, dreams, and aspirations. So as we spread our love across the universe, remember, by love, I mean lasers, beams of light that carry our laughter, our camaraderie, and our shared delight in this grand adventure. Let these lasers be our blessings, our way of touching the stars and each other across the infinite reaches of space. As we celebrate this season, let's cherish our place in this wondrous cosmos. Let's hold dear the moments that we share, the battles that we fight, and the friendships that we forge. For in the vast universe, it is our connections, our shared experiences, and they truly illuminate the darkness. So fly bravely, laugh heartily, and let your lasers shine brightly in every burst of light, in every shattered ship. There's a story and a memory and a piece of our collective soul. Happy holidays, and may your journey be filled with light, laughter, and endless wonders of the universe. And remember, spread my love, and by love, I mean lasers. Happy holidays. All right, well, thank you for that and allowing me to read from a script of that. So in no particular order, I have 3. So we're just going to pull from the winners of a contest, the top 3 winners of our holiday stories. So let me read these. The first one, story 3, EVE Online tutorials. Let's see, it doesn't say who this was from. Unless it is EVE Online tutorials. Maybe that's the person who submitted it, I believe. It was my 3rd day in EVE around 2003, and I was still a very new player in EVE Online. I only had a frigate, but we still had learning skills. I had a tormentor, which is an Amar frigate. I had spent around 8 hours of mining with 1 miner, and I decided I'd stay up late and just keep going. At around 5 a.m., a pilot convoed me and asked, "Why are you mining in a frigate?" I said, "It's all I have and I want to make money." He then suddenly transferred 500 million ISK and proceeded to give me gaming advice. He had been there since the game released during the alpha phase, and I came in around beta. It always bugs me that I can never remember that pilot's name, because I think I only made around 8 million ISK from that night, and he had set me up out of the kindness of his heart to help a fellow new player. That pilot was the reason I became what I was within EVE Online. I think with EVE Online, despite the reputation as a game, it does have one of the kindest communities in gaming. I agree. Not once in any other game has that level of kindness been shown to me. Well, thank you, EVE Online Tutorials. That is an awesome story, and it does illustrate our community and how that, and how, you know, sometimes people complain that we get blown up, you know, and they rage quit. But sometimes when they talk in local and they talk smack, well, they deserve it. But sometimes they're like, I'm a beginning player. What did I do wrong? Or is there something you can help? Sometimes they'll just make fun, but other times, like this, they'll help you and they'll send you some ship fittings, and sometimes they'll even recruit you into their corporation. But that's part of our community. Okay, that was number one. What's next? Who's next? What's the next story? All right, here's number two. Oh, this is a 2-pager. Oh, this is a big one. It's from our friend and my friend, Rick's Javix, who I featured during this year's Fan Fest. So, all right, let's see what Rick's has to say. Back in the early days of Stay Frosty, one of the very first players to join the growing pirate band, because he's in, you know, Stay Frosty is a pirate group, was a young player named Joffrey. Joffrey had recently started playing EVE Online, and normally this can be a huge roadblock to success in PvP. But he picked up the skills needed quickly, and he soon became one of the top Tristan pilots of all of low security space. Yeah, Tristans do pretty good. Thing is, Joffrey couldn't talk on comms. All of us in the Stay Frosty changed our entire way of playing to make this work for the entire corporation. We started to develop an entire language to help us work together through chat channels. Ooh, like a battle language. A language that in large part we still use to this very day. As time went on, Joffrey and I became good friends inside the game, and one day he asked for a private conversation with me. It was then that Joffrey revealed that he had muscular dystrophy, and he was confined to a bed and a wheelchair. When he played EVE, he did so on his back, and he typed on a special screen with his eyes. Oh, I'm going to pause here. There is a nonprofit organization called Able Gamers, and they bring these devices to gamers in EVE Online and other games. And as the Popo 6 Empire, we highly support them. So anyway, back to that. I just went through in a plug for Able Gamers. He had grown up with doctors telling him he might not survive much longer and that he couldn't participate in things that other people take for granted. And he refused to let that stop him. Joffrey loved EVE so much that he decided he was going to run for CSM. Oh, cool. The elected group of players that represent CCP games. The only issue was being confined now to a bed and in constant need of a nurse. Getting to Iceland would be difficult, if not impossible task. That's when the community stepped up to action. I contacted CCP Games, and I also contacted Iceland Air and the Icelandic police and other charitable groups around the world. Before long, we had an entire delegation of players and groups from around the world trying to figure out a way to get Joffrey from Europe into Iceland for the CSM Summit. At one point, Iceland Air volunteered to remove 4 rows of seats to make room for a special bed. Wow, and nursing station. However, unfortunately, it was not to be. Ultimately, the challenges presented became too much to overcome, and Joffrey's election bid turned out to be for naught. Although I still believe if he had been elected, that we would have found a way to make it work. It wasn't long afterwards that Joffrey had finally stepped away from the game. He could no longer play the game that he loved. This was almost 8 years ago now, and Joffrey and I, and others, still stay in touch. He is still fighting, and he is still winning, Eve. Aww. Wow, what a touching story that all those organizations came together, and Iceland Air to remove seats. This is what I call the why of our destiny. It's like in the fifth dimension, these choices go different directions. But had it gone that one direction, wow, what an amazing story. Thanks, Rick Javix. That was cool. All right, last story. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see what we get. It's like letters Santa Claus. It's kind of cool. If you're still here, you're enjoying it too. Otherwise, you would have clicked off. All right, this is Skirmish's tale. Oh, and its title, Space Skirmish to Snowy Smiles, a tale of family, resilience, and love. Oh, all right, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. Should I put the hat on for this? No, I'm not going to put that. Okay, here we go. Drum roll. Last weekend, I found myself in a rather laid-back mood when unexpectedly, I was ambushed at the nexus of a combat site, a tale that feels somewhat common nowadays in EVE. Unfortunately, I struggled to break the Bates tank, and just as he couldn't penetrate mine, thanks to my meticulous dismantling of his geckos, and after a prolonged standoff, to conclude the skirmish on my terms, I fired upon a random structure, summoning Concord to gracefully put an end to the encounter. And that's when I made a decision to whisk my kids away for some snowy outdoor fun. The following day, my 5-year-old son took it upon himself to uplift my down spirits. He presented me with a drawing depicting my Vargur emerging victorious, obliterating the aggressor. Aww. This experience served as a gentle reminder about life's priorities, urging me to invest more time in the company of those that truly matter, the ones who offer unwavering support and envelop me in love. Ah, that is a great tale of family and support. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this year's holidays with Max Singularity and the Space Pope's address. I have ventured out to playing other games on my YouTube channel because, as some of you know, I'm a pretty avid model railroader, and what's strange is I'm finding a lot of other EVE players are into railroading too. So I look forward to hooking up within the railroad universe as well as New Eden. Thank you all, and happy holidays. Remember, spread my love. And by love, I mean lasers. Happy holidays.